Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Ray,
Marco.
and we are the Love the Game podcast. I mean, technically, like high key, this is kind of like our second season, like our season premiere, I guess, in a sense. You really look at it like that. We had to take a little hiatus, but you know what I'm saying? We back, gonna be better than ever, And I'm really excited for this 2026. Cole, I don't want to speak for you, but you know, I know we gonna go crazy this year. And
For
yeah,
sure,
bro.
bro.
So yeah, obviously today we got a lot of stuff that we're gonna talk about. You know, I'm saying we're gonna talk about our squad. We're gonna talk about all the new NBA rivalries going on, especially given what we've seen post Christmas. And then we also just want to talk about what's going on in the NBA as a whole. And then, if you know, love the game pod, we'll break it down later in the episode, but we're gonna do our usual. So, to start off, unfortunately. Our favorite team, the Philadelphia 76ers, have lost to the Bulls last night, 102 to 109. We've dropped to fifth in the Eastern Conference standings, and we're 6 and 13 right now. It's kind of crazy because like a lot of the guys I feel like had like fairly well like games, or like they played well. You know what I'm saying? I want to get your opinion, but it does pain me to say that I feel like this is definitely like kind of like an end of the era type of moment for me because I saw like why the Sixers kind of need to change some things going into this new era. You know what I'm saying?
Um, I mean, as far as last night, I was pretty mad at Nick Nurse honestly for closing with Grimes down the stretch instead of Don Barlow because I feel like Don Barlow is kind of the power forward that you want next to Embiid at this point in his career because Embiid will still be like a big presence under the rim and deter shots even though he's not like jumping and blocking shots like he used to. Like saw him get dunked on by Jalen Smith that just wasn't happening like a couple
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um. But I don't know why he decided to go small there, especially because I don't think Grimes hit a three at all last night, and he's been struggling from three recently. I'll send you the stats for that. But I think Don Barlow and Joel Embiid has been a fantastic lineup this year. I actually have the stats pulled up.
Mm,
In their 150 minutes together. They have a plus 11.4 net rating. And it's not even like this is just due to some shot variance. Like Sixers are shooting 37% from three in their minutes, and the other team, whoever they're playing at the time, is shooting 35% from three. I really
mm.
just think it's because of how perfectly they complement each other offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I
So I
get
really
that. I
didn't
get that.
understand going away from him down the stretch. I kind of tweeted that last night. It was like, really didn't understand closing with Grimes, and I meant over Don Barlow. And then a lot
Mm,
of other Sixers fans that I followed, who I respect their opinion a lot, kind of expressed the same sentiment that I did, like after the game, because I was tweeting
mm.
during the game, because I was like, why? Like I like Grimes, but he's been like not his best recently. I feel like he's forcing a lot, and his shots just not
Yeah, I
falling.
get
Like it's
that.
going to
I get
happen over
that.
the
Yeah,
course of a long season,
yeah.
but I just didn't understand it. And so like as far as like the Nets one, that was very annoying. I think that was just a poor Tyrese Maxey game. Yeah, no, the Nets one wasn't his best game. In the last two games, we shot 26% from three against the Nets, and we
Mm,
shot 28% from three against the Bulls. Like you're really not gonna win games doing that.
yeah,
And like
yeah,
last night I think we were 0 for 15 from three outside of Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. And like that really can't happen. Like when you're like
yeah,
complimenting those those three, you're
yeah,
going to need
yeah,
to knock down threes. Like when you don't have the ball. I don't know. Like I mean, especially against the Nets, I kind of wish Jerry McCain took more threes. Like I think last night he actually looked pretty good. He just wasn't knocking down his shots, and like it's got to be hard. Like he didn't have an off season. He had
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
hand
yeah.
injury. He just got his like hand brace off. Last night I thought he looked pretty good. He had like three layups in the one stretch, and then I don't like
Yeah.
he like didn't see a shot for like the next 10 minutes of gameplay. Like that's got to be tough where you're just like completely out of rhythm, and they actually like hit a pull up three at the end of the quarter as your next shot or something like that. And then he misses the wide open corner three and like later in the game, and that one kind of made me mad. But it's like I feel like the complementary pieces that we think so highly of they need to do better. And a lot of that is just because like they're being asked to corner sit the whole time. It's kind of like what Darvin Ham was doing on the
Yeah, yeah,
Lakers, where
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
asking
I
players
get
to
that.
corner sit and they're like out of the offense completely. And then like
Yeah,
yes, they're going to underperform when that happens. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of and Sam Vecini was like talking about it like the offense is kind of just like super ISO bally, which we've been talking about all year. But
Yeah. I mean, to piggyback off you, bro, like I was thinking about it today. Like it's kind of crazy how like I feel like defensively we look really good. I really like what I see out of our defense. It's just offense is where I feel like we dropped the ball.
yeah, I
And
agree.
it's like, I was looking at it today, bro. With our big three, we're 0 and 4 this season. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's kind of crazy, like while while I was saying like there might be a big change coming because like we can't be 0 and 4 with our big three actually playing well. And we understand now that well, I can't really confidently say that we understand because we're still trying to adjust to see what Paul George looks like because we've seen him show flashes of him being Paul George of old. And then with Joel Embiid, we know that he's not going to be Joel Embiid of old, but we also don't know like where his like ceiling is for this season, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
it's
I think
like,
he's been pretty good recently too. I think we've been
yeah,
pretty hard,
yeah,
like
it's
pretty honest about him, but I think he's been really, really good over these past 4 games, to be
yeah,
honest.
like and like again, like to your point, he's definitely had some flack. Some of it is definitely deserved, but I also do think that we, as an NBA community, haven't been acknowledging Joel Embiid's kind of like slow return back to normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's pretty unfair to give him the sole blame, like a lot of fans want to do for these last couple games. I'm like, he like was the offense, like
yeah,
he had a positive plus minus in these last 2 games,
yeah,
and like in games we lost, like it was, and we were like, yeah, I mean, it was kind of like the old Sixers, where it's like you win his minutes on the floor in a loss. It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
I
will say
mean,
though, I will
yeah,
say though, I was doing some research on it. Right now with Embiid this season, we are 6-7. No meme, no meme. But like we're
I did this.
like it is kind of it is weird because like I feel like we have been playing better without Embiid, but at the same time, we know that in order to if we actually want to be serious this playoffs, he's gonna be the only way that we can at least kind of like be semi-tolerable. But also at the same time, he might be our like weak point defensively, which is crazy because we know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Um, I don't know. I think it kind of depends on the lineup we roll out. Our net rating has been better with Embiid despite our record being worse. So maybe there's like
I get
some
that.
case for some normalization occurring there because in his minutes we have a plus 2.4 net rating, and when he doesn't play, we have a 0.4 net rating. So I definitely think he increases our ceiling. And as far as like changes, I really don't think much can happen. But the stat I wanted to share was
What's up?
when
Talk
we
to me,
have
bro.
Don Barlow on the floor with the big three.
Hmm.
Like I was saying before, I think he's like a really nice compliment to Embiid. They've only
Hmm.
played 45 minutes together, and the other team shoots 30% from three when they play. So
Hmm.
it's not going to always be this crazy. There's like evidence of obvious regression coming for this, but they
Hmm.
have a plus 23.8 net rating. So I think like when you have those big three on the floor with like Don Barlow, and then whether it be VJ or whether it be Jared or whether it be Quentin Grimes at the other guard spot, I think that you can roll out really good lineups there. I just think it really is like up to Nick Nurse to continue rolling out our two-way guy as like a starter and then closing lineups. And I know that it's like a lot to ask of a coach to roll out a guy who doesn't even have a guaranteed roster spot in
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
situations like that. But I think he's a very obvious floor raiser and like kind of what you need next to Embiid. Where like yes, Joel Embiid is not going to rebound the ball a lot. We saw him get 5 rebounds last night, but like we allow less offensive rebounds on the floor when he's on the floor, which is like kind of not what I expected. I kind of thought we'd be getting killed on the offensive glass, but the other
Mm.
team's offensive rebound percentage goes down by like 2%, I believe,
Yeah.
when
I
Embiid's
mean
on the floor.
that makes sense because he's a very like scrappy type player. So like
He's
I
boxing
get
out
it. I
well.
get that. It
That was
makes
like a
sense.
criticism I've had like last year of him was like, yes, I know you're not going to rebound, but you gotta like put a body on somebody or something like that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think overall he has done that this year. Like last year, like yeah, like I mean last night, I mean he like allowed the rebound to like Jalen Smith where he had him boxed down and stuff. And, like yeah, stuff like that would be annoying. Where it's like I wish he could just jump and grab the rebound. But overall, I think he's done a pretty nice job of boxing out.
Hmm.
Which is like important. If you're not going to be able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
jump, like yeah, you gotta be in a good position. And I think overall, like I think also Paul George, we talked about him a little bit too. I think he's been pretty good this year. Like he's not putting up like like 30
He's
points per
averaging
game
like
or like
16 a
25.
game.
Yeah, but
I
I
just
think his
looked at it. Yeah,
defense, I think his defense is a big part of the reason why our defense has actually been pretty good this year.
I
Like
agree. Yeah,
because it's not Andre Drummond, it's not Embiid. Like I think Embiid is like a fine defensive player at this point. He's not like the defensive anchor that we're used to, which is
yeah,
like
yeah,
hurting us a little bit.
yeah,
But I think he's overall okay. It's not like it was early in the season where Alex Sarr is just going at Embiid and just giving him buckets. Like right now, it's like Embiid is a pretty reliable like interior defender at this point. Like it, yeah. I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. I didn't think it would ever get to this point where it's like, oh, he looks competent. So I'm actually pretty thankful that it's not where it was at the beginning of the year, where like the Celtics were just killing us on every single action and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Yeah, man, we're gonna see how the Sixers do. Um, what we were on like a 2 game losing streak right now, or is it
Yeah,
worse?
2 game losing streak
Yeah,
after a pretty nice 2 game win streak, and the two
yeah,
losses were, especially the next loss, were losses to teams that we probably shouldn't
yeah.
be losing
So
to.
it's like, we're gonna figure it out. I think, last thing before we go to our next topic, like I would say it's kind of like interesting, but again, like a weird feeling to know that there's gonna be these type of thrilling games. Um, because it's just like, some nights we look like there was that one stat. We were really good when we were down like 20 or something like that. And then sometimes we go we go up 10 and then we fumble the game and we can't finish in the clutch. So it's like it's really interesting to kind of like,
No lead is safe when you're playing the Philadelphia 76ers.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you kind of
In
right.
either direction. In either
Yeah.
direction, no
In
lead is
either
safe.
direction, like at this point, yeah, that's how you kind of have to look at it. But yeah, other than the Sixers, we know that there's a lot of conversations about like NBA rivalries and stuff like that. We recently watched the San Antonio Spurs go 3-0 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. All of them are classics. Um, you know what I'm saying? I really just wanted to get your perspective on like this newfound NBA rivalries. Like, obviously, I'm a big supporter of NBA rivalries because we know how important they are to the NBA culture. But like, I also wanted to ask if you see any other rivalries going on in the league right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll just start with the Spurs Thunder one. I'm happy that it's actually turned into a rivalry that it is because I remember I think it was one B's rookie year. I don't know
yeah,
if you remember him and Chet had that one game where it was just like they were obviously going at each other like down the
yeah,
stretch. So,
yeah, I
just,
do
like,
remember that. Yeah,
so and I was like, wow, this is gonna be a fun one for years to come. I think that was 2 years ago. That might have been early last year, and then we kind of just didn't really hear about that rivalry again until this year again. So it's nice that
yeah,
that one is actually like becoming the rivalry that we would hope it would be. And it's obvious like when B like takes that matchup super personally. I kind of
yeah,
wish Chet like visually took it more personally too. Like maybe inside he does, but I don't know. Like Wemby's getting happy when he misses free throws and Chet is out there like looking too cool for school. And like maybe he takes it like maybe he's just like a super nonchalant guy and like he
yeah,
does take
yeah,
it super personally. But I kind of wish that we had like him acting like how Wemby does, so we had like two guys like really going at it. But
yeah,
no, that's a super good rivalry, and it's nice that the Spurs were able to beat them sometimes this year too. Um, because they were the only team that's been able to beat them multiple times this year. Because what they only lost to like the Trailblazers and then the
and
Spurs three
and
times
the Wolves.
and the Wolves. Right? They just
Yeah,
lost the Wolves too. Yeah, you're right.
another
Yeah,
NBA classic, bro.
yeah.
Crazy.
So they're the only team that's
Yeah.
beaten them multiple times though, and they beaten them 3 times.
Yeah, three
So
times,
yeah,
bro. Yeah,
yeah, that was good.
that's really crazy, especially given that we put them in like the whole, well, not we, because we knew, but like they put them in the whole 2017 Warriors convo, and it just like like that argument just completely fell off like after it started gaining traction. So it's like, to your point, bro, it's really interesting to see that like Wemby, like, we always looked at him as like the future of the NBA. And we saw him go through this training arc last season, or sorry, last summer. I didn't mean to cut you, like I didn't want to cut you off earlier, but the reason why
Hmm.
we didn't hear about that Wemby Chet beef is because Wemby was hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
so like we obviously, like, probably maybe Chet was thought it was sweet for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And Wemby sitting on the bench, like he's like the bull, like, trying like just mad. You know what I'm saying? We saw that one quote where Wemby was like, Chet winning a ring or whatever was super personal for him because he got a ring before him. So it was like, I mean, him going through that training arc, knowing that he has this type of viewpoint and just seeing his like enthusiasm, like his enthusiasm missing the free throws remind me of KG, bro. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, like I know KG low key said something to him that made him a sicko.
Oh
Like,
yeah, because he was training. Wait, he was training with him and Hakeem this summer.
and like
That's what it
Jamal
was.
Crawford, dog. Like just like crazy, like you know what I'm saying. So it's really good to see Wemby embrace this rivalry. I feel like the Spurs also embrace it. And the Thunder, you know, like you said, like they're kind of like a little too nonchalant about it at times. But I think given the fact that they've lost to them 3 times is gonna make them seriously reevaluate like how to attack this team. And hopefully we can see them play in the playoffs. I know like I was watching a Kenny Beecham video where he was talking about well, he was talking about this topic and he was saying how like even though a team can go 4-0 in a season or whatever, don't expect that to be the same result as the playoffs. And especially I feel like given with this type of talent in the NBA, you can't like we can't just like we can put the Spurs in like an interesting championship caliber type tier right now because of the way that they've beaten the Thunder. But I think also at the same time you just can't underestimate what the Thunder have because you know, there's too many like just too many X factors now within role players and you know, schemes and stuff like that to where it's just like obviously the Spurs are better because I you know, I think right now they're better, but I still feel like the OKC Thunder have something left in the tank.
Nah,
Um
I think OKC's better. I think I mean like they shot horribly, and I don't think they're a good shooting team to be honest. I think that brings down their like offensive like reliability a lot game to game. I just think they had just three bad shooting games. I'm gonna be honest. They're still
I
like
mean,
easily my favorite to win the
bro,
championship.
even though like yes, they had bad shooting games. I think the Spurs defense is a big proponent to that, bro.
I
Um
mean, they were just missing wide open shots. Like, I mean, the Spurs defense is like very good with Wemby there, but I mean, like missing wide open threes has like really nothing to do with how good the Spurs defense is. And like the Thunder aren't a team that's going to like shoot the lights out that much. I kind of wish Dagnall went to more like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe lineups, like then like
Yeah,
sacrifice some of the
bro,
defense
he doesn't get
sometimes.
as much burn as he used to, and that's what kind of like frustrates me.
I
I
don't
feel like
understand
Isaiah
what
Joe
Dagnall
deserves
does
it, bro.
sometimes. I'm like your team is shooting like 20% from three, and and like yes, you're playing good defense, but you don't want to like sacrifice one of the defensive guys out there for like a shooter who's actually going to knock down the wide open corner threes that they're just giving Lou Dort to
Yeah,
like double the paint every single time Shea touches it. Like I just don't get it sometimes.
yeah,
And he kind of makes me mad. That's why I feel like they aren't the 2017 Warriors. I agree with you on that front because like well their like regular season net rating will probably be like up there with them. Like
yeah,
come playoff time, like if you're as unreliable from like from three as them, like you can be beat. That's why they got taken to 7 games twice last year.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like what even like the what Celtics team what 2024 Celtics like the 2024 Celtics didn't even really get taken like that deep in a series or have that close of a series
yeah,
because they were
yeah,
just like such a supreme shooting team that they were
yeah,
just weren't going to have those nights where they just couldn't make shots like on a regular basis. Where that as this Thunder team, I could see them shooting 28% from three for like for a series and just being like had in
yeah.
7 games. But
I
I
mean,
don't think like if I had to predict, I don't think they will. But like yeah, it could happen.
I do want to say also because like I was literally talking to my uncle about this during Christmas. Like it's gonna be. I feel like J-Dub is gonna have to be like that serious X factor in the next playoff run because he hasn't been playing as well as we know that he can play. I think a part of it is because he's still coming off of that wrist injury, but like at the same time, you know, just given there was like a lot of times where it looked like SGA was gassed because the defense's plan was just to tire him out
Yeah.
solely and force everyone else to contribute. I know Chet's been playing better, but I think like also it's going to be interesting to see like again like in a 7 game series how this year's Thunder team can manage with that type of game plan because it looks like right now that they cannot do that if the right team is going against them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they definitely need a second creator out there. I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. Like, yeah, Shea can't do it all. Against a team
Yeah,
like the Spurs, Shea can't do it all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's like part of me wonders if J Dub is either even like going to get back to that level that he was at last year, this year,
Well,
like
what do you
without
think
having a full
like
off
what do you
season.
think about his injury and how it's affected him so far since like
I think like when you see players don't have like an off season to prepare for like the next season,
yeah,
I always think they kind of like had like look like this. I don't know if there's like an actual like stat to show it or anything like that. But I kind of wonder if like if he will be able to get back to it this season, or if he'll really need like a full off season to like
Yeah,
recover, like do everything that a normal off season does. Like I kind of feel like this is just gonna be a weird season from him. Like hopefully he gets it back for
yeah,
playoff time. Like I do like J-Dub as a player. I think he's like a really impressive two-way guy. And I feel like I always like really like those guys who are super tough defensively and force a lot of turnovers and then turn that into offense. I think that's like a really fun type of player.
yeah,
So hopefully he does get back to that because he was their like only real secondary shot creator unless I'm missing somebody. And they have AJ Mitchell who could do that and stuff this year.
yeah. I just think
So
he's
they
too
have
inexperienced right now.
yeah,
That's my only thing with him.
yeah. I don't want to have to rely on him to be my
Yeah,
secondary shot creator come playoff time. I completely
yeah,
agree. So I don't know. Maybe like coming out of the All-Star break, J-Dub just gets super hot with like because he won't make the All-Star game because he just missed so much time. He's not really playing at an All-Star level. So like maybe that's the time that he needs to like really get back.
yeah,
He didn't have what we had as far as the in-season tournament where we had like a week off because they were playing
yeah,
in
yeah,
like the
yeah,
championship. So I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe he just needs the extended time off. Maybe he'll need a full off season. But yeah, I just think this is going to be a weird year for him, and it does. I think it is kind of I don't think it's something I took into consideration when I was talking about championship favorites, and I said like
yeah.
the
Me
Thunder with
too.
like full certainty.
Me
I
too.
still if you would like have me pick now, I would still lean the Thunder over everybody else in the league just because I think they've been the best team. But
Mhm.
I say with less confidence than I did
Yeah,
to be.
yeah. No, I get that. I get that. So yeah,
Oh
I
wait, other
mean,
rivalries, I forgot to mention that. I mean like we've kind of known for a minute now, but like Thunder, I mean, sorry, Timberwolves, Nuggets.
that was
Like
something that I feel like needs to be
we've
more
had
publicized
two
for
playoff
sure.
series now from them.
Yeah, yeah.
Two playoff series now from them.
And a
Yeah.
classic, bro. A classic Christmas game, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, amazing Christmas games. So like that's one we've kind of known about for a while. To be honest, I was texting my friends who were Celtics fans. I was kind of like we missed Sixers Celtics Christmas Day. I was like, we're
Low
not gonna
key.
talk about that one too much.
Low key. But we get cooked, bro. That's the problem. We get
Now
cooked.
we
Except
won
last year.
last
Last year
year
we
because
did win. We did win though.
Caleb Murray hit 7 threes. That
Yeah,
was
on
the
God, on God.
fakest
My
game
fault.
ever,
My
but I
fault,
love it.
bro. Yeah, nah.
Oh no.
I obviously like to add to your point. Like I love the East Coast rivalry that we have. Like I feel like the Knicks, Celtics, Sixers, they're always gonna be like button heads forever, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I
Cause
like the Knicks Cavs rivalry too. Like they played once in the playoffs. I hope we get them to play in the playoffs this year too. That would be fun.
yeah, I mean we gonna see, bro. Cause that's
Yeah,
that's
the Cavs have not looked like
yeah,
I thought they
yeah,
would. A
yeah,
lot of it has just been like Evan Mobley, Darius Garland just in
yeah,
and out of the
yeah,
lineup.
yeah,
But
yeah. Shout out to NBA rivalries. I feel like I feel like divisional rivalries are like the most important aspect to the NBA, and I feel like they've kind of like shied away from it instead of embracing it more often. And it might be me saying it because I'm like an East Coast person, but I think regional rivalries are really important for the long term growth of the sport.
no, I 100% agree. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have that thing that like baseball and football have, where you
exactly.
gotta like
Yeah,
win your
yeah.
division. Like they have divisions in the
I
NBA,
think,
but like
bro, I remember they used to have it, but I don't know if you remember. It was like between the Spurs and the Trailblazers, and I think like I forget which team won. Like it was like the best team out of the three divisions, like are like one, two, and three, right?
mhm.
And I think one team had a better record than like the team that won the division. So that team was the third seed, but the team with the better record was like the fourth seed. It low key might have been the Spurs, like low key, and they got eliminated by the Clippers that like in 2015.
I
That
feel
might
like
have been that might
there's
have
still
been
a
the whole
rule.
controversy about it. No,
I
because they
feel like
changed it. They changed it because of it.
no, not that rule. I feel like there's one where it's like one team from each division has to make the playoffs. I feel like it's a rule like that, but it's like a rule where it's like, yeah,
Uh
obviously one of these five teams is gonna make the playoffs. So I feel like it's a rule we just don't talk about. But
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
could be wrong. For some reason, I thought I heard that rule. But yeah, you're right. We like don't even talk about divisions. Like if you ask me where did Eastern Atlantic Division? Like if you ask me who else was in that division, I think it would be like the Raptors, Celtics, Nets, Wizards, and
No, it's not the Wizards, bro.
it's not the Wizards.
Nah, it's us, Boston, New York, Brooklyn, Toronto.
Isn't is New York in it?
Yeah, New York, bro. Bro, come on, bro. 2 hours away.
'Cause I feel like I looked this up and I feel like I was wrong. Yeah, New York Raptors. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I don't know why I thought the Wizards were in it.
Bro, they low key should, but I think it was because of the Raptors, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why the Raptors. I mean, I don't know where else you put the Raptors. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I feel like we play the Wizards 100 times a year. That's why I always
Yeah.
say the Wizards when we do it.
Yeah. But like for those who don't know, we about to do our usual like love the game, uh not routine, but it's like our usual love the game podcast where we give a team that we like, team that we dislike, and then a player that we feel like deserves some spotlight. Um, I'll go first because you literally kind of spoke about them.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I have to give my shout out to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Um,
I've been avoiding it for a long time.
I do not I don't like talking about this team because you know what I'm saying? Like we loyal to the soul. But right now they're 19 and 11 without Jason Tatum. I feel like that alone is really, really, really impressive. Um, but people Celtics fans gonna say that we hated, but we been said the Celtics were deep. Like we been said that. So it's like them
Yeah,
proving
well,
it.
I had them first spot of the play-in. I think we're at.
Bro, I had them at like 4, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
I
okay,
knew
yeah,
something was gonna
yeah.
happen,
No,
bro. I knew
neither one
something
of
was
us
gonna
feel like
happen.
this team is missing the playoffs. No,
Bro, I like
everybody knows. Like, no,
Bro, yeah. So like, I also want to give a shout out to Jordan Walsh. He's been playing underrated basketball. I think his stats don't represent how good of a player that he is. He shoots the ball well. He's a really good defender. He fits the Celtics scheme perfectly. And he also has like experience. He was drafted, I think, in like 2023. So like he's experienced some high stakes games, and I feel like he could potentially be like a big piece for the Celtics moving forward. I almost see him low key as like a future Derek White replacement, like in case they want to, part ways. I also want to give a shout out to Peyton Pritchard. He's slowly figuring it out, excuse me. He's averaging 17.2 points, 5.2 assists. He also has a 4-to-1 assist turnover ratio, which is sixth in the league. Um, and yeah, I'm just really impressed by his play. I also want to give a shout out to Jaylen Brown. I knew he was gonna go crazy this year because like we like as Sixers fans we knew Jaylen Brown was like that. He's almost averaging a career high 30 points per game. He's shooting a career high over 500 from the field, and he's averaging around 5 assists per game. So I'm really impressed by the Celtics this year. Unfortunately, I have to say that, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Shout out to Celtics.
yeah, that is fair. We talked about the Spurs, so I'm not going to talk about the Spurs. I'll actually talk about the Clippers, who are on a 3-game win streak right now, and they've beaten some pretty tough teams. They beat the Lakers, they beat the Rockets, and it hasn't been the best season for them, but they beat the Trailblazers as well. So they kind of punched over their head for 3 games right there, and were able to win 3 games. Kawhi Leonard with some really nice play in those games as well as James Harden.
Mhm.
Especially I believe it
James
was
Harden,
the
save us.
Rockets game. Yeah, the Rockets game, Kawhi had a 40 piece. And James Harden had 29. So that was and they won by 20. So that was a pretty nice win for
Yeah,
them
okay.
overall. So yeah, the 3-game win streak right there, has bumped them up to 13th place in the Western Conference. And with 9 wins, they are tied for the Nets with the sixth least in the league. So you know what? That's at least not amazing lottery odds when they give the pick to the Thunder at the end of this year. So it's
Hey, Dame.
less likely we're giving them a less
Hey,
likely the league
hey,
is giving them a top
hey,
four pick
you
this year.
think James Harden tapped into the pot? Question mark?
Yeah, yeah,
Question mark? You think he
he's
heard us?
he had to pay us back for thanking him. So yeah, I just wanted to thank them because for a while there was like, oh my God, they're giving the Thunder for sure top 3 pick after the Thunder. Like we're talking about how their offense is inconsistent and all that. And then boom, they had Darren Peterson and now they have the best offense of all time as well as the best defense of all time. But no, hopefully they keep playing like this. Hopefully Adam Silver works his lottery magic again this year, but in the other direction to ensure the Thunder don't get a get a top 4 pick. Um
For a team that I dislike, I'm actually really disappointed that I have to say this team because it's the second time that they've been on my team that I dislike list. So this is the first time this happened in Love the Game history. Um, I'm unfortunately gonna have to put the Atlanta Hawks as a team that I dislike. Currently they're on a 5 game losing streak, and again, like I'm really frustrated because in one of our previous episodes, I predicted them to be a serious championship contending team this year. I thought they would thrive under Trey Young, and they look like they're better without him. And that's like really crazy for me to say because like I remember I used to say that out of pure ignorance, but like to really watch it in real time, it's kind of like dang, like it's really disappointing because I thought that they could really like I feel like Trey Young deserves to compete at a high level with the Hawks, given like because he's given so much. I want to say like even though it's kind of bad for the Hawks right now, Jalen Johnson, you know that he's going to be the guy that takes over the Atlanta Hawks for the foreseeable future. Right now, he's averaging 23.8 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, and 8.3 assists. Uh, so it's like it low key makes you think like, dang, like do you seriously trade Trey Young, because also, Nikhil Alexander Walker having a breakout year. That was like, actually a guy I was really hyped to see play this year. So I'm glad to see that he's, completely blowing the expectations out the water. Dyson Daniels, another player. I feel like he can step up more a little bit, but like that based off of his previous years, he can be one of the best defensive players in the league. And also your shout out, Vit Krejci. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, it's yes, they're a team that I dislike. There's a lot of good things that the Hawks can do going into the trade deadline and off season, but yeah, it definitely. I'm definitely interested to see like what's going on in Atlanta for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, the silver liner for the Hawks is they actually probably have like the easiest rebuild in NBA history
Exactly. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't extend Trey Young. So I don't know if he's a free agent at the end of this year, the end of next year, but
I
like they
think
can
I
get
think
off.
it's the end of next year. They could trade him.
I think it is
Um,
too. So they
trade
can
him.
get off him super easily, like no
Yeah.
matter what, because he doesn't
That's
have some super
crazy,
long contract. And yeah,
bro.
it is weird because like the gimmick for a long time was like they're better without Trey Young, but I don't think it's a gimmick right now. Like it
Yeah.
actually feels
Yeah.
like they're
No,
better.
I agree. It's not a gimmick
Um,
right now. It's,
and
it's
then
being proven with Jalen Johnson.
yeah, and then they have the Hawks pick. So like
Yeah.
if you get like I don't know, for them they probably want Darren Peterson would be my guess to move on with another guard. Then you get Darren Peterson, Jalen Johnson. Like Reese Shea hasn't been number one pick expectations, but he's been a
Yeah.
fine player to this point. Like as you said, Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander Walker.
Yeah.
Big O has been good. I've liked what I've seen from Asa Newell. I wasn't super high on him pre-draft, but he's impressed me. I think the shot is much further along than I thought it would be to this point. So he's looked pretty. Yeah, so sorry the video got cut. But yeah, I mean I think they'll have a pretty fast turnaround if that's what they choose to do is to not move on with Trey Young and to move on with this young core because they already have a lot of really great pieces there, and this Pelicans pick really sets them up nicely for the future. But for my team, the team that's been disappointing is I'm gonna have to choose the Miami Heat. They also have a
Get
20
that. I
record
get that. I get
in their
that.
last 10 games along with the Hawks. And
Yeah.
those are two of the teams that are like why the Eastern Conference has moved around so much recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about like keep checking the standings recently is moving around a lot. Those are two of the teams. Um, and their record has now dropped to 16 and 15. So they were toward the top of the Eastern Conference before the stretch. Yeah, I mean they're still a good team, but they're just not the top of the Eastern Conference team that they were before. I've seen a lot of Heat fans be like kind of upset with Bam Adebayo's play. He missed their last game last night against the Hawks with a lower back injury. Um, but in his last couple games, he had 9 points. The last game he played, 14 points. The game before that, 16 before that, 8 before that. They're kind of mad with his lack of aggressiveness. At this point, that's kind of who I just believe Bam Adebayo is at this point in his career.
Agree. I
Just kind of
agree.
like an 18 points per game guy, which he is this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. From an outside perspective, I never really viewed Bam Adebayo as somebody who's going to average like 25 like plus points per game. Because he just doesn't shoot the ball much, and he is actually taking 4.4 3-pointers per game this year, which I'm actually kind of happy about because I always thought that he could shoot the ball better than he was like
Yeah. I feel that.
acting
Yeah.
like he could, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. But he's only shooting 31% from three and is bringing his true shooting percentage down to 56. So maybe I
Mhm.
was wrong in retrospect. But I'm actually happy he's attempting them just so we could see like where he's really at with that. Because I always thought the jump shot looked nice, and when he was doing it, I thought that it was like going in at a surprisingly high clip. But yeah, still a really good defensive player and all that, but just not like the lead guy you really want on offense. And he's not like you have Norman Powell averaging 23.8 points per game, which is pretty amazing, and he's doing it pretty efficient, really efficiently too at 62.4% true shooting. Um, so they're really getting all they could ask for with Norman Powell. The guy that we both really like and have talked about this year,
Mm.
Khalil Ware,
Oh, yes,
doesn't
sir. Yes, sir.
really
Yes, sir.
play as much as we would like, as I would like him to. He's playing 25 minutes per game. I wish it was up like in the 30s. But
Mm.
it's kind of tough to get him on the court with Bam because at this point, the spacing kind of doesn't work with both of them.
Yeah.
And they're not like a great passing big man duo, which is kind of what you need for like two big, like I mean, Khalil Ware shoots it and Bam tries to shoot it, but two like non-elite shooting bigs, like you kind of need them to be like good interior passers, like Sengun and Steven Adams. Like Sengun is a special
Yeah.
passer, still
Yeah.
works with Steven Adams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like
I know.
Bam at the
Like
bottom is cool.
another. I didn't mean to interject, but another underrated combo that's kind of similar. Draymond and Kevon Looney.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like Draymond's an elite passer. So it's like neither one of them really being like truly special passers. Like Bam is capable, but not like good enough to really like make that work in like high minutes. So it's kind of like suppressing the amount of minutes Khalil could play. But yeah, overall kind of not where you want that team to be. They kind of wanted to be competing, and right now they're in the first playing game,
Mm.
and they would be playing against the Cavs, which would be a really tough game for them. So kind of disappointed basketball, and you would like to see them turn that around. With such a deep team and a really great coach at the helm. I can get right into it with a player that I like if you
For
want.
sure, for sure. Well, let me introduce the topic
Okay,
for
oh my bad. Yeah,
so
you got
like
it.
so this is probably our most important section of our podcast. We do the Love of the Game player spotlight, which is basically us showing flowers to a player that's been doing a lot like basically playing his tail off, and is going a little bit unrecognized. Some players that we choose actually are known players. Sometimes they're role players, but like at the same time, we just want to really give these guys flowers. So, Cole, let's see what you got, my boy.
So for mine, I want to talk about a guy. He's not been going super crazy, but he's cracked the rotation finally, and
Okay.
I've been very happy with it. He's been a player I've really liked for a long time. Bones Highland.
Okay.
He's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
recently
I get that. I
kind
get
of
that.
taken Rob Dillaham's minutes for like lack of a better word, and so he was getting a lot of DNPs, and then starting on December 8th against Phoenix, he logged a 15-minute game, and then the next game against the Warriors, only 4 minutes, but then 35, 34, 15, 18, 25, and 22 minutes. So I'll start after the 4 minute game just because that feels fair. So
Yeah,
in his 6 games after where he's like playing substantial rotational minutes,
yeah.
he's averaging 25 minutes per game. He's averaging 12 points, 4.3 assists, 2.7 rebounds, only 1.2 turnovers, and he's shooting what 35% from three on 6 attempts. So not super amazing.
Mm,
And then getting to the line 3 times a game, shooting 77% there. Just overall solid minutes at the point guard spot, which is something that the Wolves need, especially with the half court offense.
mm.
Um, I've kind of thought that Bones Highland should be in a rotation for like a long time at this point because the defense isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Like he's actually a pretty solid defensive playmaker. I'll send you the stats like so you
Yeah,
can put
yeah,
it up
yeah.
here like
I'm
you usually
knowing.
do.
I'm knowing.
Um, but yeah, I mean he's kind of like turned it around defensively and kind of been like a disruptive guy who gets like some steals and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can live with that with like his like self creation production offensively. And he's a very solid passer, knows how to run the pick and roll. A little bit of a ball stopper sometimes. I understand that criticism of him. Um, but he's not afraid to score, and that's really something the Minnesota Timberwolves need because that's kind of what they were looking for Rob Dillingham, and he hasn't really provided that yet. So I've been really happy with Bones Highland's play, and hopefully that he is able to maintain the rotation for longer than he has in the past this year.
yeah. To piggyback off of you, like I just wanted to say this real quick before I do my player. Like I'm just really happy that he's been able to, get himself established with a team that actually respects his services. I feel like Bones Highland has always been kind of like passed around as like someone who was just a volume scorer, you know what I'm saying? But I think like just with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he's trying to prove so much more that he's not only a scorer, but also an impact player and someone who can help the locker room. And I feel like that just goes a long way. So I'm just really happy that he's getting his flowers, bro. I really want to give my shout out um, to Stephon Castle. That would like, bro. Right now he's averaging 18.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, I just wanted to give him a shout out just because of his stellar play against high competition. I mean, we know that he's like a national champion with UConn, and I feel like he's translated that competitive energy and that want to play at a high level with the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know what it is, bro. Whenever you put a guard that you would think is objectively better than Stephon Castle, he gets up and he's ready to play. Um, I feel like he's always trying to attack the paint. I really like that a lot. Like I know his nickname, he's like one of the slash bros. I feel like that's super fire. Um, he has a high motor. You know, he's very aggressive and also athletic, which I think serves um or I guess it's very good for him in terms of like how the San Antonio Spurs want to get out and run. Um, and yeah, I'm just really impressed with how he's playing at a high level when even during his rookie year, bro. I remember a lot of people saying that like because of his shooting, he wouldn't be able to last in the league. And yes, he's not shooting from above 30% right now, but I just think his defensive impact and offensive tendencies are just really helping the Spurs right now. And also just one more thing before I close out. His game reminds me of Ja, but just more balanced because of his defense. So I'm just really hyped about Stephon Castle. I feel like he has a really bright future in the NBA. Um, and I think just as we said earlier, those small sample sizes against, the OKCs or even like when they played the Warriors, I remember he was still like trying to compete with Steph Curry, even though, Steph Curry was Steph Curry. So like just like to see that out of a second year player, like that's a really good sign for the San Antonio Spurs. And yeah, him along with Wemby, man, that's and Dylan Harper, bro. That's gonna be scary, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
Dylan
God they're in the
Harper's been
West, bro.
crazy,
Thank,
bro.
thank God they're in the
Like
West,
his small
man.
minutes, he's been crazy.
Yeah, bro. Thank God they're in the West, because that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
But
I can't wait until Dylan Harper's getting like real rotational minutes. Like not he's getting real rotation. I can't wait till he's getting like
yeah,
starter level minutes is what
yeah,
I
yeah,
said
I
to
know what you're saying, bro. Yeah.
you.
But oh,
Yeah.
whoa, oh, before we dip, bro. What's your question for the subscribers, bro?
Uh
I
I
know you've
kind of
been
want
thinking
to
about it.
make
I know you've been thinking about it, bro.
I did. I kind of want to make it like a little bit like Christmas theme because like coming off for
Okay.
Christmas a little bit.
Okay,
And
okay, okay.
I usually get my dog a little something. And this year like my parents got my dog a jersey. I bought him like an Eagles jersey a couple years back, and he actually really likes it. So he like wears
That's
his
tough.
like
That's tough.
his
That's
jerseys
tough.
and stuff. I
Shout
know
out
you
your
have
dog,
pets of
man.
your own. I was wondering if you ever like put like jerseys on your pets or if like 'cause
No, like, cause, bro, my mom ices out my animals. But let
for
her
real.
let me try to suggest to get a Eagles collar. It's the end of the world, bro. It's the end of the world. So, maybe my dog will wear a Eagles jersey collar in the future. I want her to, and that's my young bull. But like, my mom, you know how it be, bro. So we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. What about you? Oh wait, no, you already said it.
Yeah, he's got an Eagles one. He's actually my lock screen in his Sixers jersey.
Damn, that's
That was
fresh.
before the James
That's
Harden 40
fresh.
piece.
That's
That was before the
fresh.
Harden 40. He's just got a Flyers
Against the
one. That's
Celtics?
what he got. Huh? Against the
Against the-
Celtics, yeah. That
There you
was when I
go.
first got the jersey because the
Yeah,
Eagles one was working. I was like, I got to get him the Sixers one there too. So
bruh.
it worked that game. It hasn't been working really since then. But
Bruh, I
yeah,
think when I get a dog of my own, I'm gonna get my dog some drip.
so
Like for
you are like a dog because I was really thinking about this because numbers on the board. You ever watch them like Kenny Beecham and
yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They did
sometimes.
like they did like a Secret Santa, and the one guy he got a bunch of like clothes for this other guy's like dogs and stuff. It was like jerseys and stuff, and I was like, okay. I was like, I know this isn't like. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know. We could do like a little festive thing because we talked about like maybe like talking about Christmas on here, and it like got delayed more than we thought it would. But
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'll still do like a Christmas question in there because yeah,
Yeah, nah, nah. I think it's fire. For those subscribers, y'all need a comment below. Like let us know like if y'all get y'all dogs or cats jerseys. Um, man, even y'all got a parrot. Maybe you get a parrot like a little collar. I don't know. But yeah, just comment, what y'all think. Comment on what you think your favorite NBA rivalry is. Maybe y'all got something to say about the Sixers. Maybe y'all got something to say about our teams that we like and dislike. We're trying to talk basketball, you know what I'm saying? 2026, we're trying to come a lot better, a lot more interactive. Um, and yeah, I'm really proud of like what we're doing. I'm so excited to be back for season two. And man, they're gonna have to prepare for like the game, man. They're gonna have to prepare, bro. I was I was gonna say if you wanted to say anything, my fault, bro.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to start this new year off. Definitely like learning like a whole learning process, and hopefully this season's even better than the last one because I feel like we improved throughout last season, and like with each episode sometimes I go back and watch our old ones. I'm like, wow, like we've really like come a long ways like far as
Yeah.
like
Yeah, for real though, for
our
real
on
though.
screen presence, I would say. So yeah, just keep trying to improve. Please follow the journey with us. I would appreciate anybody that subscribe or likes the videos or interacts with any of our content on any of our platforms.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, this year we've been going crazy. So like, I know I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. My
No,
fault.
that's all I had. You good.
Nah, I'm just really appreciative for everybody that shows the support. We know we are a small community, but we see the love throughout throughout our existence. So we're just really thankful for that, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, y'all stay blessed. Hopefully y'all with y'all family. Just enjoy the holidays, be safe, watch basketball, don't bet. You know what I'm saying? Let
No
a
bet.
game, man. Let a game, man. Let's get it. Let's go, man. We coming crazy, man.